Internet, we meet again! My name is Arne, also known as the Artrix, and you're watching episode number 9 of the Artrix Art Vlog Show. Today is the 19th of March 2014, and in this episode I'll mostly be showing random sketches that I've done during and before the Requestathon 2013. For those out of the loop, the Requestathon is a thing I do somewhat yearly. It's a day on which I basically do nothing but draw requests that people can ask for during the live streams. And if there's anything I learned from the last Requestathon is that I should probably initiate a rule that says no OCs. Because a lot of people like to request their original characters, and I'm sure you poured your soul into creating it, but truth be told, most people on the internet have no clue that your OC exists, and I'm sure that most people will not invest the time and effort to get to know your OC unless it's really original and interesting, but I've seen Dusk's Dawn, and yeah, that sure was a thing. Alright, in other news, well, there's a little update on the whole Anita Sarkeesian thing, because apparently she has gone back to Cow Kitty. For those that missed it, in the previous episode I was basically bitching about Anita Sarkeesian stealing artwork to put in her $150,000 Kickstarter project. But she's gone back to Cow Kitty. Apparently they have come to an agreement. As far as I know, the specifics are not known, but apparently they have come to an understanding. So I applaud both parties for handling the situation so elegantly. Still, the situation should not have happened, and we'll see how it goes from here. But this concludes the little saga about Anita Sarkeesian and practices around art theft and what have you. With that said and done, let's switch our attention over to animation, because there sure is a lot of news surrounding animation right now. Usually I don't give two flying fucks about Snoopy or Peanuts and that sort of thing, but the trailer for the Peanuts movie, it's very interesting. It doesn't really say much about the actual story and whatnot, but it does give you a good idea about the visual style of the movie. And what I find interesting here is that they managed to create a visual style that's very different from the usual plasticky CGI, gotta make everything look as realistic as possible yet cartoony. But in this case they sort of do that, but it's almost got this stop motion feel to it, and it's also got that 2D animation vibe to it, which is something you don't see often or at all. There was also a trailer for the Boxtrolls. I've seen a bunch of things about this in the past few months. My response as far as lukewarm. I'm really digging the art style. I don't know about the story yet, but it seems like they create more of a universe, more of a more distinct feel, so to speak, than the previous movie, which was Paranorman. To be honest, I still have to see that movie. It seems to be more coherent than Paranorman and Caroline, in the sense that Caroline seemed kind of random at times. So I still really like that movie. And its predecessor, Corpse Bride, there is a underlying theme of it being sort of dark and grim. But we'll see as more footage is revealed for this movie. But thus far, my response is lukewarm. I'm interested, but we'll see how this is going to work out. We also got word from frickin' Pixar and Disney that they're going to make The Incredibles 2. And I don't know how to feel about that. I really like the original Incredibles. It's one of my favorite Pixar movies. It was actually set up to have a sequel. Like, the setup was near perfect. Like, you got this universe with established rules, and it ended in such a way that it makes perfect sense for there to be a sequel. It's just really unfortunate that it's coming out in time when it seems that Pixar is almost doing nothing but sequels. This is particularly bothersome. Now they announced that there's gonna be Cars 3. No, seriously, we don't need a third movie for Cars. I don't know what it is with Pixar and Disney and Cars, but they seem to keep making these movies even when they're critically bombing. the best thing is just to ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist. And to wrap up this episode, let's talk a bit about My Little Pony and the last few episodes, because we had a few good ones and a few not so good ones. The last one, of course, is Mod Pie, and it was a pretty fun episode. To me, the episode came completely out of the blue. I did not foresee, well, I was avoiding spoilers anyway, but I did not foresee that they would, one, touch up on the whole situation with Pinkie Pie's parents and sisters. I don't know why, but it just didn't occur to me. But that they're going to introduce this new sister that we haven't seen before, and that this sister would be pretty interesting in her own unique way. That was something I did not see coming. A lot of people argue that characters like Maud are not very interesting, and to a certain extent they're right. They're not good characters as, recurring characters. But having a character like this, especially in a universe like My Little Pony it does lead to hilarious situations, and just for that, this episode is well worth your time watching. Some pony watch over me was, it was an okay episode. I watched it with a bunch of friends, so there was a lot of banter and whatnot going on. It was kind of a Cutie Mark Crusade episode, except that this one focused mostly on Apple Bloom. It had some interesting world building, but overall the episode felt kind of forgettable. To be the whole thing where Applejack was a bit too overbearing was, I don't know, it just felt kind of weird. But overall it was a decent episode. It was fun seeing the other Cutie Mark Crusaders with Apple Bloom's hair bow, which of course leads to hilarious results. And we got some pretty funny reaction phases out of it, so guess that was a pretty decent episode. And to wrap this all up, let's have a little look at It Ain't Easy Being Breezy, which I still think is one of the weirdest episodes of this season. I still don't fully know what it is. They were properly foreshadowed, though they missed a few opportunities there to make it really interesting. And when we finally did get to see them, they were presented like this hyper fragile species, and you just wonder, how did these creatures get past natural selection? Though granted, Sea Breezy was pretty goddamn awesome, so I'll give them that. Anyways, I think that's enough for now, so thank you for watching. Do all those YouTube things that everyone keeps telling you to do, and I guess I'll see you guys next time for the next Artrix Art vlog show.